Hello, I'm Catherine.
And I'm Krissie.
And we are travelling gleefully. We are in the stunning area of Lake Como.
Oh yeah.
Woo! We have got some unfortunate weather today.
It's very cloudy and rainy, but Catherine's going to point out what we can see across the water.
Can you see my finger?
Yeah.
Corona's over there, supposedly.
Yeah, that kind of, yeah, you can see it on the camera.
And then Bellagio is like, it's just sort of that way.
It's on that headland.
Yeah, so I read that this is called the Golden Triangle because you're like perfectly between the three main towns. And luckily we found a cheap place in Bellagio,
Yeah.
which is great. We're excited to like look around the area and explore.
The one upside to weather like this is that we basically have Bellagio to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, this is the main kind of walk along the lake. We've seen maybe like 3 people so far.
No one here. I don't know if everyone's inside or like at the other towns or something, but it is quiet.
It is nice.
Hello from a much clearer Como today.
It's so much nicer today.
And we've come out to Tremezzo, which is sort of just like down the headland from Bellagio, so not too far. There's like a beautiful villa that we're going to go to with a stunning garden, and then tomorrow we're going to do all our little ferry trips.
Yeah, it's just like so beautiful, like driving down the lake on the bus and stuff. It's so nice.
It's incredible. Look at that. And then we've got some more beautiful towns. Nice little flower there. Beautiful. It's hard to see, but there's even some snow. I think you can see it there. There's some snow on the mountaintops, which is very cool.
This way.
Just at the very top there. Very cool. So we are in Villa Carlotta, which I actually found a very funny way. I was like, we were on the bus from Como to Bellagio, and we passed something that said like garden, and I was like, we love a garden. So when we got to Bellagio, I just Googled like garden, I don't know, Como or something, and this came up as the main one, and I was like, yep, that's it. And then turns out it's like a thing, like it's a very popular tourist attraction that I just didn't know about.
So you book tickets online, they're like 15 euros each. And then when you come in, so you can go into the building, which is like a museum. And then the garden, there was a thing at the front that had like 3 things on it. So there's an accessible path the whole way around. And then there's a short circuit, which is like 30 minutes. And then like the complete itinerary, which is 75. And you just like follow the arrows around the garden. So we're going to do the long one and just spend 75 minutes wandering through a garden.
Oh, beautiful. God, if you come here when it's flowering, because like
it's incredible.
It's just colour everywhere.
We were looking at reviews and they were kind of like, most people were saying like it was incredible, but there were a few reviews being like, it's just a garden, like it's nothing exciting, don't waste your time. Clearly those people did not come when it was flowering.
Yeah, but even then it's like a stunning like layout, and there's lots of to look at, and even without the flowers, but with the flowers.
With the flowers, I mean, like, yeah.
Like, ridiculous.
If you are from somewhere that has bumblebees, there's one just in here, you do not know how lucky you are to have the world's cutest insect just like around. They are so fluffy and so cuddly, and I just want to pat them.
It's like that scene from Despicable Me where she's like, it's so fluffy. That's me. Good morning from the ferry terminal.
It's finally, I mean, it's still a bit cloudy, but it's a much nicer day.
Yeah,
today.
It's like clear. You can see all the mountains, all the towns.
And it's warm as well. Not warm, but like
Warmer.
not puffer jacket like
Yeah.
it was yesterday.
So we're finally going to Bellagio and Verona today, and we're so excited.
Yeah, these are the kind of towns, I mean, we were excited to see Menaggio as well, but I think Bellagio is like the main one that we were excited to see. It's just too expensive to stay in.
Yeah.
So we're excited to get there today, finally.
Yay!
Like a vision board of like things I wanted to like see or achieve this year, and on it I had a picture of like a street on Lake Como, and it's this one. We made it. It's like I knew that this, like I knew it was in Lake Como, but I didn't actually know which town it was in when I found the photo and put it in. But it's in Bellagio.
It's so pretty.
And we made it. It's so pretty. Like you can see the lake behind us as well. It's such a nice area.
Bellagio, which is like such a cute town.
It really is. There's quite a few like stores with amazing glass ornaments.
Yeah, there was one glass store that was just like incredible, and it had heaps of glass from Murano and Venice, which we're also going to.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of it was made here, and it is beautiful. And it's just such a nice place. I mean, it's like on the water, and you're just like looking out at all the other towns and all the boats, and oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's so nice. Like, I'm so glad we ended up coming here.
Yeah. We are now in Verona. We took a very busy ferry over from Bellagio, and it's so nice.
It is. There's a busker just down here
playing
saxophone, which is so nice.
It's so busy though, honestly. We started at we got to Bellagio at 10.
Yeah, it wasn't even that early.
No, it wasn't even that early, but it was a lot quieter, and by the time we left at 1:30 it was so busy.
Yeah, and it's really busy here as well.
Yeah.
So definitely start early to avoid the crowds. Not even that early.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we're excited to look around Verona.
Our first gelato of the Como video. I got cookies and cream and a banana Nutella, which is so good.
I got blueberry cheesecake, or what's left of it, and lemon lime.
Just so beautiful to walk around.
Yeah, it's incredible.
We've just been like wandering around, and it's incredible.
We've just had the best time walking around, and Verona is so cool because it's like you walk around the headland to like the main area, and then you walk up the headland into sort of like the hills a bit, and you can see down, and oh, it's so cool.
It's so nice, and they're like, as always, there's all the like beautifully painted buildings.
Yeah.
And then some of them have like vines growing on them. There's one actually right here. Like, they just look so cool.
It's just been the nicest day, and like you can definitely do it in one day. Bellagio and Verona, one day.
Yeah. And
like, or if you're staying in like Bellagio, do the other two in one day.
Yeah, it's really easy to do like all three in one day.
Yeah.
But we found that Menaggio was the cheapest to get accommodation in, so that's what we went with. But yeah, it's really nice. It's definitely worth coming up here.
Yeah, it's just been the nicest day.
we've made it back to Menagio after the, again, very quick ferry. But remember at the start of the vlog when we were here and it was raining and we were talking about how there was absolutely no one here?
Yeah, and Krissie did like a pan and it was just empty.
Yeah, that was definitely because of the rain, because today... And this way... Yeah, so the rain wasn't ideal, but it did mean that we got Menagio all to ourselves for a day.
I can't believe how busy it is today.
It's also a Saturday.
Yeah, but still.
But yeah, it's crazy.
Good morning from our last morning in Como.
Yes, we are heading to like Como, the actual town, today to catch a bus to Verona.
True, this is our last morning in Lake Como.
Yeah. But we're lucky that we, when we booked our bus, we booked one for 2 p.m.
We're just lucky, really.
Because we were like, oh, you know, I think the other option was like 9:30 or 10 a.m. And we were like, that'll be kind of a pain because we have to get down to Como. We didn't realise that we knew that on Sundays things run less in Europe. The buses run every 2 or 2.5 hours to get back to Como.
Yep.
So we literally have one bus option to get there to catch our bus.
So we checked out at like 9:45 and we're like, oh, there's a bus at 10:30. Oh, well, that's the only bus. So pro tip, maybe just check earlier than the morning off.
Yeah, especially on a Sunday.
I feel like we're smarter than this.
Yeah, but we're just not used to, like, we know things run less in Europe on Sundays. We just didn't realise like how much less, like how things really honestly shut down on a Sunday.
Yeah, so
pro tip, check in advance if you're travelling on a Sunday.
Yeah, very lucky. Almost disaster. All right, we made it off a very chaotic, tricky bus. It was just so full because...
Yeah, as you can imagine, when they come every 2.5 hours, everyone that needs to leave the towns to come back to Como has to catch the same bus.
Yep, and Como is like this the whole way down, or like along Lake Como. So it was just windy and we have 20 kilos worth of luggage that is just like moving everywhere. It was a lot.
But we made it.
We made it. We're in Como. We're watching the seaplanes land. There's one that's going to land just behind me in a second. Oh, here it is. We're watching the seaplanes land. It's just here. There it is. And we're just chilling.
Lunch and just wandered around a bit, but it is time to head to our bus, which means that this is the end of the Como vlog.
Yes, it is. Como has been like a beautiful area, like the whole Como Lake. I feel like it's kind of given me Cinque Terre vibes, but like better.
Yeah, it's very like the towns are quite similar to Cinque Terre, but a bit bigger. But it was less touristy, so it was quite nice.
But yeah, so you will see us next in Verona, probably tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll start it tomorrow, but you'll see us next week.
Yeah. But thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you liked this vlog, and follow us on Instagram to keep up to date with where we actually are.
Is that where you put it?
It will be now.
Okay, cool. All right, well, we'll see you in Verona.
Bye.